you got somebody cleaning up the dirty work. But that's just my opinion. You got a lot of stars, but superstars, I'm just going with those three.
Man, where Giannis defense at now? What that team rank in defense?
That's what I wanted to get on because I'm like, Giannis perimeter defense has shaded down. The numbers may look good, but if you want to talk about eye tests, I mean,
if you look at the eye test, he is their best defender on that team, and we all spoke on this. They given up two of their best defenders to get a player like Dame who doesn't play defense, but he trumps the offensive side.
He's the best defender on that team this year.
He's been the best defender on that team since his prime. What are we talking about?
Better than Jrue Holiday?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I can't agree with that.
And even if you don't agree, okay, that's one person. That's debatable.
This season.
That's debatable. But other than Jrue, who else has been better than him as a defender?
Only got another defensive player of the year on his team. Wasn't Brook Lopez defensive player of the year?
No.
Okay.
He wasn't. He was in conversation, yes. But that was also due with Giannis being able to play the perimeter and bring the offensive play into the
Who matters more to their team, Giannis or Joker?
I think that's interchangeable.
I think that's a good that's a good debate.
Actually,
because
based on the teams now, the team's constructed as of now, today.
Right now, that's tough. That's tough.
I'm about
to get. I've seen Giannis sit out and they win. Joker sit out. The game is just different. That's a playmaker. That's a scorer. That's rebounds. Giannis may average more points, but Joker has more of a assist and rebound type of role. Giannis, if you name a go-to move, is line drive to the basket, which is great for him in his career. That's good. However, Joker's making passes behind the back, alley-oops. He's creating offense out of thin air. When the defense collapses on Giannis, of course, you could just throw it to the corner, throw it to a shooter, and everything like that. Even LeBron's done it. That's my guy, so that's fine. But we've seen him do more. LeBron out of this. I just feel like there's an argument to be made with that, but I just feel like Joker means more to his team than Giannis. My definition, it wasn't asked, but I'm going to say it now. Peso, you led right with that as far as, what you said. But I feel like a superstar, too, is like, I'm bringing you here to my organization to win a championship. Simple.
Let's talk about like a global icon as well.
I feel like you become a global icon over that,
rare.
But at the same time, what you do on the court gets you to that point and level too. Well, now, when you have people who already are from overseas, once they get here, they're already like a global icon in a sense because they come from somewhere. Now, when you had it like, I believe it was during the USA game when, I believe it was D Wade or LeBron. They said, I thought I was famous until I went to China and everyone is yelling Kobe. When you have people from a nation where you're not yelling your name and really cheering for you, then I consider you being a global icon. Now, in that sense, Giannis probably has a large fan base here, and so does Joker. But superstar, it's tricky. I feel like superstar can be in spurts. It can be in seasons. You can have a superstar season. Next season might not live up to that standard you set. And that's been the case for a lot of people. We judge people of what they did in their superstar seasons or era, and we got to let go of that. But back to this right here, I personally feel like Joker has been through it more than Giannis. Giannis has blew leads and playoff series that they were the favorite in. And how can you – I'm not going to say everybody had their blunders, but however, I'm going Joker over Giannis if we had to choose today as far as starting my franchise.
I think real quick, and then I'll keep letting y'all go. I think that these guys could definitely be in that fast lane, because they have a whole career ahead of them. So we could talk about this 3 years from now, and those guys surpass the LeBrons and surpass the Stephen Currys. I'm just saying, as of right now, I just don't have those guys with specifically a LeBron and Steph Curry because, yes, of what they've done overall. Extremely successful. Leave the athlete part out of it, but a successful person means what have you done from before and now? How successful are you? And I just think those two guys, they separate from a lot of them. But I think those guys have a long career ahead of them, and they could easily surpass those guys. I mean, anything could happen.
I feel like we got to throw the athlete part in there because it is a sport. But then going from how I used to watch the NBA back then, superstar, these people used to be by themselves, one man, and then lead their team to the playoffs, get to where they can get to. Then they could team up because after you've proven yourself to be like, all right, he did his solo, he did it by himself. We can't fault the Nuggets organization for drafting how they did and got Joker and Jamal Murray together. Cool. Milwaukee has been changing pieces in and out with Giannis. We've seen him get swept. We've seen him get um, losing to so-called inferior teams and things like that. So that's why I'm going off of that. Dre, you was about to say something?
Would you consider Tim Duncan was a superstar?
Yes.
Or was he was just the best player on a good team?
He was a superstar, in my opinion.
I would consider Tim Duncan a superstar.
Because the thing I'm hearing so far is we keep winning matters. You can't be a superstar if you're not winning. You have to have inconsistency. Even when LeBron was a superstar early in his first stay in Cleveland, he wasn't on the level of the Kobe's and I'll say Shaq, even though Shaq wasn't in his prime at that early stage of that time, because he didn't win the big one. KD for a while until he went to Golden State. He wasn't in those conversations with Braun and them because he didn't get win the big one. So I think winning and consistency, what you do on the court, that kind of overbalance. I say 60-40 as a part of your name off the court.
But going off of Ace's point, I mean, it's kind of tough because, you know, a team was built around Tim. Not taken away from Tim Duncan, but just looking at the overall talent and perspective, like what he brought to the game. I mean, not even just the 5 championships that he won. Was it 5? I believe it was 4 or 5.
It's fine.
The man's, I don't know. He reminded me of.
I'm gonna give it a buck. Ain't nobody buying no damn Tim Duncan jersey, bro. Like, what are we doing here?
Compared to if we're talking about.
All
right. I mean, who could we call superstars back in his era? I guess the mid 2000s era.
Kobe, Shaq.
We got Kobe.
I love this.
Wade,
but we deflecting off the BS y'all was just spewing about the Jokic and Giannis.
I just want to go. I just want to understand real quick. I mean, Dreco said, you know, people ain't buying Tim Duncan jerseys. I mean, let's real quick. Who else was a superstar? Let's go. Wade,
Kobe.
What years are we discussing for this Tim
What
Duncan?
what year? Yeah, that's a good question.
Because he played. What era are we talking?
He had a long career.
Let's go. Let's go mid 2000s to 2010s.
Okay, Kobe and Shaq.
That's too long of a list.
Kobe and Shaq, and probably LeBron in the early 2000s.
Allen
AI
Iverson,
and AI. Okay, I'll give AI. That's it.
Kevin
So
Garnett.
we're gonna so Tim Duncan.
He was not a superstar. Oh, I'm including Tim Duncan, but the names I was just named was.
So is Tony Parker not in that conversation too?
Of what?
Of superstars?
Boy,
So
I done heard it all today. I done heard Jokic could win a DPOY, and now I'm hearing Tony Parker supposed to be a superstar.
Did Tim Duncan average 50 and 30 or something like that? Like, hold on.
He averaged a quadruple double in the final, bro.
I think Tim is in that conversation. I think Tim has to be in that conversation. He's a top 12 player all time.
2010s, I'll say
Top 12 player all time. He has to be in that conversation.
2010 superstars. LeBron. I want to say Wade, but Wade was on his back end, really.
We got to throw Wade in there from that championship run he had with Shaq.
In 06, I guess.
We have to throw Wade in there.
I guess.
He came back from down 0-2.
2010s, I'll say Dirk. In the 2010s.
Dirk just had one good year.
You consider Dirk a superstar?
I would say in the 2010s, possibly. I'm not saying yes, but possibly. 2010s LeBron. It's tough. I'm looking at the back end of their careers like Wade, Wade won those rings with Braun, but Wade was not a superstar when LeBron was there.
So let me hear your definition. What's your definition of a superstar?
A superstar is someone who elevates his play as well as the team's play, has consistency, and I feel like you have to have some type of winning involved as well. I don't think you could be a superstar if you haven't won a damn thing. I love Charles Barkley, for example, but it's the reason why he get clowned the way he do when they bring up the ring conversations because he didn't win. So with that being said, to give another example, like when we talk about the 2000s for superstars, I could have easily said T-Mac or Vince, but they didn't win. In fact, they had a lot of playoffs failure. You're gonna have some exceptions. Like AI is an exception because what he had off the court, which was so high level, along with his play on the court, and he was able to go to at least a finals appearance. I can give that. And what he did for the game as far as the culture. So he's like it's gonna have exceptions. Right now, I think it's probably 4 to 5 superstars. Braun, Curry, Jokic, Giannis. It's probably like the only 4 I can say. There's people on that cusp. Like Luka's on that cusp. If Tatum can get a ring, he might be on that cusp too.
I love my Celtics, but we're not going that far with that.
If Tatum wins, he's gonna be on that superstar talk.
I still wouldn't even agree with that.
Hey, agree with yourself.
He has a long career ahead of him. Like I said, I don't think there's a lot of these guys that are stars in this league. It's so much that they have to achieve, but I'm not going to sit here and say one ring is gonna make him a superstar in this league.
I said he will be on that. He will be on that because I didn't say he would be, but I'm also going based on what you guys were arguing about off the court name too. And like Dreco said, ain't nobody trying to buy a Tim Duncan jersey. That's which could be fair, but there's a lot of people buying Luka and Tatum jerseys. So if you're going off of that,
Tatum on his way.
So if you go off of that basis,
we could.
If he gets a ring, he could be on that cusp. But
Tatum is on his way. Luka is on his way. Shai's on his way. John Morant, if he wins,
I gotta see Shai and Ja do something in the postseason before I can.
Anthony Edwards got a long career of him. If he wins, he's on his way. We got a lot of guys that's on their way. But who do we have?
Well, I said my 4. It's only Giannis, Jokic, LeBron, and Curry.
I can't argue the Giannis aspect, but you know,
I want to add because we say ring, but it's also how we win these rings. Not we, NBA players. Like for example, y'all didn't name Kevin, but I'm assuming it's after he left.
KD. KD
Yeah.
definitely is a superstar still. I can't deflect that.
Never mind, then. I'll wait.
Nah, KD.
You guys have KD as a superstar in this league right now.
I'm asking Trey.
Yeah, I can't. I hate. We understand. We know the history about his some rings, but I cannot say he's not a superstar. He's a superstar, bro.
I mean, I give KD this. If he wins in Phoenix, okay. If he would have won in Brooklyn, okay. He won with the Warriors.
Hey,
a 73-19.
Who wouldn't go? Who? LeBron.
Go ahead.
No. LeBron would go there and would have won easily.
What would you gonna say? Who wouldn't go there and win? I know a lot of players.
Giannis would have went there and won easily.
At that time, Giannis wasn't what he was yet, so I don't know about that.
Well, to be fair, with that system they fit. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kevin Durant fits, but with that 3-and-D type of system, you could have easily put in Trevor Ariza and they would have still won the ring.
Get the hell.
Any small forward who can shoot the 3 and defend well on the wing and knows how to pass could have easily fit in with that team.
Y'all are dating me by the minute. Paul George is winning the ring. Paul George would
have won a ring in Golden State if he was there.
Any small forward who could shoot the 3.
Kawhi Leonard would have won a ring in Golden State.
Paul George would not win a ring if he was there in Golden State.
No.
Stop it.
Well, we found our black sheep.
No. This is the same Paul George we used to clown about in the playoffs, but now he's gonna win a ring with Golden State.
You're on the Justice League.
Didn't Kevin Durant blow a 3-1 lead before he joined Golden State? To Golden State?
He also went to the finals. That same KD went to the finals too.
Oh man, he went to the finals all them years before. He went against all them old dudes. They was trying to go into the
finals. He went against old dudes?
Yes, bro. Go check.
What year he went to the finals?
What, 2018? LeBron?
I know where he went. I want to make sure y'all.
2012.
It was a 2011,
2012
season.
2011, Dallas beat the Heat.
It was a 2011-2012 season. Yep.
But yeah.
Did he beat the Lakers, who was a year or two removed from their championship?
Okay, they was tired. Who else?
Then I believe they beat the Spurs.
They old too. Who else?
They're old, but they went on to win a championship a few years right after that. But okay,
a few years, but they older dudes, bro.
But they were still championship contending teams that were winning.
Well, that aside,
so this is one thing though, right? Because he'll lose that, and then y'all say, "Well, KD wasn't in his prime; he wasn't ready yet." When he was ready, he wasn't. Efficient.
I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say he was in his prime. He wasn't ready. No, he beat some damn tough teams. He beat some damn good tough teams to get to that finals. And this was when the West was still better than the East at that time.
That 3-1 lead that he blew, no one talks about it. No one gives credit. If that was any other superstar, it would have been held. Then you join the same team.
I'm not excusing that. He choked.
Then you join the same team you lost to. It's like, yo, pick me up.
I'm not disagreeing with that part at all. That's why I said we know the backstory on that. I do not disagree with that. But I still have to call a spade a spade.
So at one point was KD great?
At one point he was great.
Well,
he's been great in OKC and he was great in Golden State.
He wasn't great in OKC, bro. We're gonna stop that narrative.
He won the league MVP in Golden State.
I feel like he was great. Now I ain't gonna disrespect
him. He was not great, bro.
Y'all better stop this.
I think I definitely can say that he had a great year that year when he won MVP. But other than that, you guys can't sit here. You can't say that you don't plug in any other forward in that spot. The Warriors won before KD got there. The Warriors would have still won probably that year without him being there.
Yes.
Nah, I don't think Paul George is getting him over the hump. Because I don't think Paul George is doing what KD did in that final.
They just had to replace Harrison Barnes.
This is what I'm getting at.
Small forward who could shoot.
That's great.
And defend.
But y'all making it seem like KD was a slouch in those finals. KD was the best player on that team in the finals. Paul George is not doing that.
Him and Steph both averaged 28 in that playoff.
KD averaged over 30 in the finals.
No, in the whole playoffs, they both averaged 28 apiece. We still got to get to the finals. You get what I'm saying? We just
and when you get to the big dance, you got to dance. And Paul George ain't going to. And when you get to the big dance,
to be fair,
Paul George ain't doing that.
I feel what Trey's coming from because like some of those game 3 performances.
Because the year before he was up on the team that went to the finals. 3-11. When it was his time to go on his own, he couldn't do it.
And I agree with that.
He needs somebody to help him dance.
And I agree with that. But at the same time, he did get to a finals before blowing that 3-1 lead. So it's not like he hasn't been to the dance before.
He went 2011, and then that stint. He was about to go back 2015. What happened to him 3-4 years between that?
Didn't he get hurt one of those postseason runs?
I don't know. You tell me.
Or was it Russ?
Russ.
I know they lost second round, and I believe
Russ
he lost in that conference finals.
Russ got hurt with against the Rockets.
But even still, Paul George has yet to show him to even do that. He said himself he ain't even on 1A. So I don't believe. Do I believe Paul George could average 28 leading up to a finals? Sure. All right, I can.
You don't think he could do that?
I could concede that. Sure. In the finals, do I think he's going to play to the level KD played? No, absolutely not.
When you're under Justice League, you don't need to worry about 1A. Everybody, let our powers unite. Come on now, 73-9 team, and
but can we also remember the fact that Paul George is not the off-ball player like KD is. He needs the ball more in his hands. So that's going to change a little bit of how the offense was ran, right? Opposed to KD, you could completely plug KD to any offense, and he doesn't need the ball to go and be efficient and get 25 to 30.
So he only won in one place.
So can we put Iguodala up there as being a superstar then?
Hell, stop.
No,
stop.
I mean, I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to get it here because
when has Iggy ever put up the number?
it's not even about that. It's about
It is when you talk about superstars.
It's about plug and play. Harrison Barnes
No.
was where they won before KD got there.
Because
KD,
of the superstar of Curry, and I wouldn't even say superstar of Curry, Clay, star of Clay, superstar of Curry, and the defensive wizard that Draymond was.
So KD's a superstar off of what he did with Golden State.
Off of joining another superstar.
Because I don't see him
off
being
of his numbers that he had leading up to him going to Golden State, his finals appearance, the MVP, and him doing what he did in that Golden State, winning back to back, and being the best player on that team.
That's it.
He was not the best player, bro.
Nothing else afterwards.
KD was never the best player on that team.
No,
nothing else afterwards.
We can carry on. I can't believe this.
Check the stats, bro.
I told you the stats.
No, you didn't. You just averaged 30 in the finals. There's a whole playoffs. The whole playoffs.
Is that a stat? Is averaging 30 in the finals not a stat?
How much did Kawhi average in the finals? Wait. How much did Kawhi average versus the Heat? Like 20-something, right? How much was he averaging before that?
The Heat. They played the Heat in the
Kawhi, Spurs versus Heat. How much did Kawhi average?
Man,
he averaged like 15.
Oh, 15, but then he averaged 20 in the finals, right?
No, I'm talking about the finals. He averaged like 15. He didn't average 20 in the finals.
Before that finals, right? What was anybody showing Kawhi Leonard love? No, he just showed up in the finals and just stood in front of LeBron.
And I don't even agree. I don't even agree with him winning the finals MVP that year. So what's your point? I don't agree with that either.
You're talking about the finals. There's a whole playoffs. Okay, KD showed up a couple
Kawhi was not on that. A couple. Let's move on.
So
you just
because
in the sentence you did just say
when he got there.
I'm sorry. Did he not just also say that KD and Curry averaged 28 in that playoffs?
Yes.
So you okay?
It was in the finals. It was in the finals.
But you're saying 28? KD is the superstar of that team. If Curry's rated superstar, you come and you doing exactly what I'm doing. How much? Like, okay, you're my Robin. You're my like Batman or something. I'm still Superman. You just helping.
Okay.
So right now, Musa, you got Jokic,
Giannis, LeBron, Curry.
Jokic. Okay.
If I also do 5, KD would be the 5th, but I also just stick to 4 people.
I mean, it's tough, man, but you know, it everything was talked about from what KD did from 5 years ago with that team, and nothing since. That's why I don't have him up there.
You know, we're gonna say he's been hurt. He don't want to play.
I mean,
don't want to play.
I just feel like
I ain't gonna make that excuse.
It depends on situations too, because we say Luka's almost there. Luka's teams hasn't been as well constructed as Kevin Durant's teams. And Peso, to your point, you said if he wins with Phoenix, honestly, yeah, like Phoenix is good, but look what it took to get there. He said, put me in Phoenix or Heat, which were arguably the best before he got there. Again, joining another powerhouse team. Luka hasn't had a Devin Booker, Steph Curry, anything like that. So I feel like sometimes superstar is making the best of what you have, consistency. But, I mean, you can't help if your team is constructed. However, if you construct a winning team, I feel like it's slight differences. Apples to oranges. KD joined a 73-9 team. LeBron went to a Miami Heat team who hadn't made the playoffs or had and rebuilt. So I want to say that I take that into consideration as far as superstars and what we define as superstars.
LeBron also choked too.
Hey, I mean, some of the best.
I'm just being consistent based on the argument I was hearing. That's all. I agree with you.
There's playoff series where Michael Jordan choked. I mean, everybody done it. Okay, some of the greats have done it.
So who you got on your list for superstars?
LeBron, of course. Steph Curry. Joker. I'm going Kevin Durant. I didn't like or agree with everything, but the man is a talent. He is a bucket, and I'm hitting with him like that.
Giannis?
Well, I appreciate you reminding me of Giannis, But
Extremely successful. I just want to go. No, my bad. Keep
no,
going.
you're right. Giannis is good, all-star and everything like that. I don't want to say there yet, but I've seen him blow and he's choked more than LeBron have.
So has KD never shit the can? We talked about what he did with the Warriors in OKC, but ever since then, afterwards, Brooklyn, Phoenix, he hasn't shit the can.
I mean, he has. However, at least with KD, I see more levels of scoring. I see like different aspects, everything like that. Only thing I do give Giannis is he toughed it out through the mud and he went through it for the team. However, I'll put him on the low end of my superstar list, and I'll just go like that. KD's probably right above him, right next to him. They high fiving each other. They both the same height.
So, well, go ahead. Ace.
So
I got a question for Ace when you're done. No, I got a question after you.
I don't really.
Go ahead, Ace.
No. Go ahead.
Hey, so you throwing out the extremely successful, which I find is a valid point. So go back to what started this all with Jokic and Giannis, would you classify Jokic being extreme success, just success, accolades, because he has the extra MVP over Giannis, even though Giannis has a DPOY?
Yes, because
they both have Finals MVPs and they both have rings. That makes him over. That gives him the extreme success over Giannis.
In my opinion, yes, because Jokic was supposed to win 3 MVPs in a row.
Sure. I feel like that's a whole nother debate. Okay, fine. I'll digress. We can move on to the next topic because that's going to be a whole nother conversation we can have. I don't want to get off topic.
Before you end that too, we have to take into consideration. We've seen players have different type of careers during playoffs and different type of careers during regular seasons. So that got to be taken into account too, as far as superstar debate.
I just think also too, it's kind of not fair that, yes, I have LeBron and Curry there. Yes, Jokic too, but LeBron and Curry has been here 15 years, and you still got Jokic that's going to be here 10 more years, arguably. You still got Giannis that's going to be here 10 more years. So I got those guys in there. The same thing with KD. I need to see KD win on his own. Even if he got stars and guys around him, I need to see him win elsewhere. That matters. Dreco, you had your list?
Yeah, it's just Curry and Braun. Just Curry and Braun. You got a unanimous MVP. LeBron won like 3 to 4 MVPs, right?
He got 4. I ain't even mad at that, Dreco.
LeBron, what's it called? Those was okay. I like what LeBron did with Cleveland. He came back and won that one. I like what he did the bubble year. Or even like how Curry came back after, he told them boys when Memphis put him out, or I forgot who put him out. He said, yeah, we're going to be back next year. And they won the chip with that team. I mean, a lot of, like, Giannis got potential. Joker Tatum got potential. It's a lot of potential superstars, but superstars is 2.
So,
I mean,
question for the squad, for the team. What does Giannis have to do to become a superstar that he already have done already?
I just think he needs to win one more time.
I can't lie to you. I don't know. It's just not. You know what I'm saying?
He's done everything Jokic has done.
I want to see him win.
I didn't even say Joker neither though, because it's like I don't. Like, you know when you see it.
The only reason
I agree with you, Dre. I think it's legit only 2 real superstars, LeBron and Curry. But I can extend that to 4 to 5 if we had to.
Because the thing is, they still early. Technically, their career is still early because they like 28.
That's my point.
Everybody start winning, so they pretty much they're potential superstars. They there.
That's my point.
Because what I was gonna say, I'm only gonna say this, and I'm not gonna get into it. Because what I was gonna rebuttal to Pace when I asked that question was, yeah, Jokic should have won 3 straight, but let's be honest, that second one he won back to back was supposed to go to Embiid. So technically, he was supposed to win 2 out of 3 still either way.
That's a whole
nother convo. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, what does Giannis have to do more to get that to that level? Because him and Jokic done everything. Jokic has 1 more MVP. Cool. He has a DPOY. Jokic ain't getting a DPOY. I don't care how hard he tries. He's not gonna get one. That's why they have Aaron Gordon on that team and Caldwell Pope on that team.
I
for those
feel like
reasons.
with Giannis, my fault, and I did cut you off. I apologize, but Giannis had way more say so on his team. Joker just rolled the ball out to me, and we gonna hoop.
You
To the
think
point of
I don't agree with that. I don't think
John
so.
just has his brothers signed, and what is his brother averaging? We'll get to that later. That's roster spots for other people. Drew Holiday, the Lopez brothers. He had so much say so and so much like roster reconstruction. Let's go
Listen,
there.
they ain't playing
Whereas
that much money, bro. His
I'm about
brother,
to say the
he
Nats
get
is a
there.
lost cause. Yeah,
when
he just there to pick his brother's nose. He ain't finna do nothing.
when Nuggets go to the playoffs and they lose, it's like all right with conference finals, like they're in there battling. To where we've seen Giannis and the Bucks have early exits to who?
So prior,
Got hurt.
so prior,
Got hurt
because
last year.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Jokic has been in the conference finals every time he had Murray, which is twice. The last year when they won, and in the bubble. Other times they've been getting early exits.
Exit to who? It'll be exits to people who go on to be the championship. It'll be fights. Giannis will get an early exit off of 1 seed versus 8 seed. Now, shout
So
out to
wait,
Miami. They've
did
done
he
their
not
thing.
lose to Toronto when Toronto went on their run for the championship?
I mean, yeah, he
Didn't they
did.
build the walls? Okay, I'm just
Okay, but like I said, they lose to teams who they're supposed to be inferior to, like teams who are supposed to beat. Do they
Toronto
not?
was always a better team that year against
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
nah, Toronto was tough around that time.
Toronto was a better team than Milwaukee, and
But what a better chance
Giannis
to-
was still going through those
what a-
growing pains.
What a better chance to prove you're a superstar than go to a tough team then, and he couldn't do it.
But you could say the same for Jokic against the Lakers in the bubble
Okay,
or Golden
Lakers,
State.
Lakers in the bubble, Golden State championship, losing the superstars.
Toronto
Who did he beat last year?
championship.
Hold on,
Kawhi.
wait. Look. You said, but what?
Toronto championship.
But like I said, that right there would have been a good one-on-one and everything like that. But they were up 2, and then Toronto just went 4 straight. You talk about Joker going. Joker had to go through LeBron, had to go through Curry. He lost to them, and then we went through them, and that's fine. But back to that MVP conversation. I mean, that's neither here nor there. But Embiid ain't stepped foot in Denver and played a game and win. At one point, you got to play that man and his home too, and show us what you could do. But
Yeah, I didn't put Embiid in that conversation because he hasn't won.
That's true, but what solidified superstar to me would be like how Curry won with and without Durant after and before. LeBron, 2018, masterful playoff series without Kyrie, without Dwayne Wade, willing that Cavs team from the 4th seed to the finals. But I just feel like Giannis has been, for the amount of say-so he's had to only be the one finals appearance, I feel like he should have been at least.
Are we forgetting how he came back early to win that finals after that injury?
I mean, let's also
and dropped a 50 piece to seal it. Like,
let's also look at the playoff series last year with Miami and how Milwaukee looked without him versus the times Jokic didn't have Murray.
Yeah, Milwaukee had that great anomaly game without him when they blew out Miami. And after that, they got ran down. And I also blame Budenholzer, which is why he ain't there now. Because you see the way Butler was cooking, and you just leaving Drew Holiday, the best defender on the team, on an island to get cooked. But,
you just said the best defender on the team. Did you not?
That was being sarcastic.
Smart. He being funny. He's just trying to be funny. I recognize that.
Giannis didn't step up when he came back.
You right, and Giannis. And matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up because when that playoff happened last year, who wanted to go guard Jimmy? And they sold him. And what coach told him no? Leave Drew to do it. Budenholzer. How'd that work out?
You let the coach tell you what to do?
Giannis listened to the coach. He ain't like LeBron. He ain't gonna make all them trades.
Coaches don't be around with Braun. You don't listen to Braun, you go home.
And that's my point. Why
I'm not even gonna start that
Giannis
conversation.
is gonna be Giannis.
I feel like coaches and
Giannis should have did what LeBron would have done and said, "Screw you, I'm guarding Jimmy."
No, go ahead, Ace.
I'm not gonna start that conversation about coaches versus superstars. I feel like it's hand in hand. Okay, back to Trey's point versus Kawhi. He didn't guard Kawhi, didn't guard Jimmy. At some point, it ain't the coaches. It ain't the X's and O's, but the Jimmy and Joes.
That's cute.
I like that one. Man, that's tough, man.
We'll end
But
it
moving on, fellas. Moving on. Let's talk about these NBA power rankings, man. What I want to do, I want to go around and know at least y'all. Let's start with top 5 for now. I got the list, but who do y'all think is top 5 in order of this year's power rankings so far?
Dre, you can go.
In my opinion, right? I'll say OKC. I'll put Boston. Maybe Timberwolves and Clippers. Then Denver at 5th.
You watch any OKC games this year?
Nah, man. But they've been winning. Ain't nobody watching OKC games.
Oh man! All right, who you got, Ace? Or Musa? One of y'all. Ace, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think we lost.
I think you on mute. Musa, go ahead. Who you got?
Top 5. You said right. Top 5 teams.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go from 5 to 1. I'm gonna go currently, not what I believe it is, but I'm gonna take a guess at what it is currently. I'll probably say Denver's 5. Minnesota's probably 4. Boston 3. OKC 2. And I think they might have the Clippers 1.
Ace, who you got?
My fault. I had to check with my analytical team real quick. If we're putting it in order, I'm gonna put, let's say OKC first. I've seen the game against Minnesota. I've seen a couple of their games and how they move and everything like that. They've been hot. The West is a beast. They've been on top of that. But moving forward, Boston Celtics after. They have a good record. They've blown some key games recently, but we're not here to discuss that right away. Clippers gelled together with their AAU team, the NBA, basically. They got the ball rolling and things like that. They've been on a good little run. Minnesota's climbed up. 5, I'm going with the New York Knicks.
I was waiting for it.
5, I'm going with the New York Knicks. They've been on a 9-game win streak. They just got a loss from Randall. However, that might give him time, rest his legs a little bit, unfortunately. That's 5. Do I go after that, or like how y'all want to do it?
I don't know how accurate this list is, but let me go off of it here. They got OKC 1, Celtics 2, Clippers 3, Minnesota Timberwolves 4, Philadelphia 76ers 5, and so on, so on. We got the Knicks at 6, Cleveland at 7, Milwaukee at 8. Denver's down at 10, and I don't think that's very accurate. That doesn't make any sense. The Knicks, man. Musa, Draco, I didn't. You guys didn't have them in your top 5.
I mean, they doing good now.
Y'all gotta put some respect on Jalen Brunson, man.
I'm giving them enough respect as they deserve to be.
Yeah, I mean, they gonna be a regular. They gonna be a good regular season team.
You don't think they got enough to do it in the playoffs this year?
It all comes down to Julius Randle.
To do
Is he
what?
gonna show up?
Hopefully.
I like OG as an acquisition, but is Julius Randle going to be that all NBA player that we know he can be? Because if not, why am I wasting my breath on this team?
What top team they going to knock out? That's my question.
They could knock out Philly. They could knock out Milwaukee.
I'm waiting for you to say they going to knock that team behind you.
I mean, if Boston wants to fuck around all they want to, they could get knocked out too.
Okay.
Anybody could get knocked out.
So let me see. This is a matchup. It'll be like Brunson versus Maxey and Embiid matched up with like Randall, right?
Now he'll be matched up against Hartenstein or
So we
I
got
think if he comes back in time, Mitchell Robinson.
Randall, and then they still got Tobias Harris if he show up.
I think if Randall shows up, he cooks Harris.
But I'm saying if Harris show up, just like if Harris at least average like 15, and B give you, because we know he ain't averaging 35 in no playoffs.
Who's that?
And B, he going to probably
Shoot, I wouldn't be surprised against the Knicks. I wouldn't be surprised the way he get foul calls.
But listen to what you just said, Musa, against the Knicks. So it's like, do you really see the Knicks beating Philly?
I can see Joel averaging 30 to 35 in the postseason.
Yeah, Joel's going to easily be able to do all he wants, but I think
did we see Miami in Milwaukee? Everybody got to show up and play.
I don't got faith in Miami.
Not yet.
Going off of last year, I get your perspective.
I bet you don't have faith in Miami.
Nah, I had to change our heart because last week I did when we talked about the playoff team. How they've been looking, they're starting to get the chains rolling, but I think they might do one more piece before the deadline, before I go back to what I was last week. I just feel like they might be on cruise control like they were last year, and they might get a bad matchup this first round.
Who, Miami?
But, yeah.
Terry Rozier, is it that one piece?
They need a center.
No. He ain't no need a mover.
No.
What?
I never said he was. I never said Terry Rozier was a need a mover. I think it's a good piece to have because then, like I was saying last week, you could speed up the offense because they rank at the bottom half of the league in pace of offense. In terms of their pace in the offense.
Currently, right now, Miami is 26 and 23 in the standings right now. In the seventh seed.
7? Yeah, almost 6. Okay.
They're they're about 3-4 games above from being out of the play-in right now.
And who's the third seed? Philly?
New York is the third seed right now. Philly's the 5th seed. You got Boston, Milwaukee. You got the Knicks behind Milwaukee by literally a half a game. Cleveland, Philadelphia, Indiana.
Okay, so I'll say this actually. And Pacer don't like this response. So based on the standings now currently, I think New York can get to the conference finals. I think they beat Miami in round 1 if they was to play them today in 5 or 6.
Nah. They the 3rd seed. They'll have to play Philly, right?
Now Philly's the 5th seed.
Nah, Philly the 6th.
As of right now, constructed on the Knicks would be playing Indiana in the first round.
Oh, you said Miami's the 7th seed.
Miami's the 7th seed. Miami will be playing
Milwaukee if they win the play-in. Oh, in that case, then yeah, they have a chance. I think because they tore up Milwaukee last year. Granted, Giannis was hurt.
I think the Knicks got a puncher's chance, man. Since January, from the start of January, they was the 8th seed in the conference, moved all the way up to 3.
Yeah, they got a chance. I would agree based on the standings currently. I would walk that back. I think they have a chance. I think they can beat Milwaukee in the second round because I don't trust that defense.
Go ahead, Musa.
Yeah, no, that's it. I don't trust that defense in Philly. We don't know if Embiid's going to come back in time. Or is he going to be 100%, which I doubt he would be if he comes back for the postseason. So I give him a puncher's chance based on the standings now.
I mean, I like I said, I think they got a puncher's chance, man. When you got ever since they got the addition of OG there, they've been on a roll. When you got guys like DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, guys that he's played with in college, I think that culture there is starting to brew. I think they're gonna have a better successful year than last year in the playoffs. At least make a deeper run. But Jalen Brunson, man, I think in Dreco and Ace, y'all know this, man. You know, he's a New York, to me, he's a New York type of dude. You know what I'm saying? He has grit. The man's crafty. You know, he's self-made. Like that man's destined to take those guys far. And he's humble. He's humble. You know, he's humble about his game. He works hard. And I just think people I got them in my top 5 of power rankings right now. 3rd seed in the East. They literally could take 2nd seed easily from Milwaukee if they fumble the ball. So that's where I'm at on that.
But if you did, right? Would you want to take that? Would you want to take the 2nd seed and go against Miami?
If I was the Knicks, I would be more comfortable going against Miami in the first round than Indiana right now.
I agree. I think they match up really well. Well, I think they match up well against both Indiana and Miami. But I like them against Miami because they have a little bit more size in the front court. But Jimmy,
Jimmy to
but
me
the
is just
thing
not
is,
he's not the same this year.
I think he's just cruising. But I think the difference is why I like the matchup now is because they have OG. I think OG defensively can help create problems for Jimmy.
Yeah, I definitely think I would take a puncher's chance over Miami. I would go with Knicks in 6. I would go with Knicks in 6.
I'm looking forward to this year's NBA playoffs for numerous reasons. And when we get the matchup, official matchup, and playing and things like that, it's too early to tell, but we'll see. I'm gonna hold some of these words accountable, and we're gonna go from there. I just feel like
Yes,
I
sir.
love LeBron. I like everybody, but everybody got to show up and play. When the game starts, when tip offs happens, everybody got to show up. We say Giannis was hurt, but Giannis came back too. Uh, if he's such a needle mover, that should have changed. But we're not here to argue that. I'm just saying, with based off the power standings and based off of who's hot and not, regular season is way different from the playoffs. We talk about Jimmy Butler cruising, but in that same Jimmy Butler's heating it up, pun intended, because of the team he plays for. He's heating it up against some of the teams we know and love. So we'll see. Uh, I personally feel like Terry Rozier can move the needle. Instead of Kyle Lowry, you have a point guard who averages 22 points, 6.5 assists. He's been a part of the Celtics' success in their early years. He knows what it looks like to be on a team and a team that
I
knows
wish
how
he
to.
was. I wish he was here last week. I wish he was here last week. Or was it 2 weeks ago? We talked about that.
It was last week.
I like how you skipped over Charlotte and went back to Boston. You know,
I mean,
and
he went to college. He had some fun. Now he's back. He's back in business. All right. When he went to Charlotte, I mean, the boys. They just Charlotte is another type of conversation. However,
losing
he's been in a
basketball.
he's been in a winning program. I've seen basketball. He's been in a winning program, and the man knows ball. So right now, the way we let Clippers figure it out, and they tiptoe and dance, same way they're gonna figure it out and get the ball rolling. Especially him, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and Bam.
You said Duncan Robinson. Don't bring that man's name in this
Hey, if
conversation.
you're gonna bring up Duncan Robinson, at least say Jaime Hawkins first.
Like I said, when we get to this playoffs, I want to see the same. And I can't
Duncan
wait till
Robinson.
I can't wait till we have the standings. We're gonna have the standings up, and we're gonna go pick by pick on who's winning. The games don't matter as long as they win, and I'm gonna be confident in my selections. But I just feel like we can't be counting out these 7th and 8th seeds because the last couple of years has proven so.
I just hope you don't be ducking like you was when Boston swept Brooklyn. You was confident in that pick before we started this podcast. So.
Hey, I've seen me get swept. I'm not guess what. I'm sorry, Miami do sweeping on Boston. Last
When
year
did
it
they
almost
sweep
got out of
Boston?
hand. I mean, it was did the bubble? Did they get swept in the bubble?
No. Miami never swept Boston.
4-1.
No, they beat
No,
them
it
in
was
6.
6. It was 6 games. Put some
Boston,
respect, man. Come
Boston
on.
never got swept by a Jimmy Butler Miami Heat team.
Not
You
yet.
not even put that out there
The
yet.
the way y'all been playing recently against teams y'all don't look serious about, it can happen.
Yeah, but I honestly, me being a realistic Boston fan, I knew this was going to happen at some point. They was going to go through a slump. I'd rather it have been early than now, but I think they should be recharged by the post All Star break. They
I
better.
mean, I agree, man, and like y'all said, I mean, I think Ace, everybody has a chance. We talking about a 7-game series here, so anything could happen. But